Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Putri Natasha Farhana binti Jamaluddin and I am from class JBA 24928. So the purpose of this video is actually for my assignment for subject Islamic Economics. As today, I would like to share to you all about the government implementation program in order to boost the economic that affected by the COVID-19. The outbreak of the pandemic COVID-19 caused a major breakdown to most of the world economy, and even most of us cannot generate income due to restricted movement order. This virus, which is said to have originated from the wet market in Wuhan, China, has spread all over the world as fast as lightning, and it was categorized as a pandemic by the World Health Organization, which is known as WHO, on March 12, 2020. The virus has infected over 1 million of people in more than 180 countries, and it already caused over 400,000 deaths. In Malaysia itself, more than 8,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19. For cases in Malaysia, the positive cases may peak in mid-April with over 10,000 people infected. How was it? Could you see that? The Malaysian government has already taken a proactive measures to control its spread by imposing the Movement Control Order, which is known as MCO, from 18 March 2020 to 31st March 2020. However, the MCO period was later extended. Although the MCO compliance stands at 95%, the cases number and deaths are continuing to rise. COVID-19 has shocked the world economic structure, which is now in a state of uncertainty. Recently, the National Monetary Fund has announced that this pandemic will cause a global recession this year, which could be worse than the one triggered by the subprime mortgage on 2008. This economic crisis ensuing from COVID-19 involves practically all countries in all over the world, and recovery is expected to take a long time. As long as new positive cases of infection are reported, the economic ecosystem will continue to be disrupted. In Malaysia, which is a small country dependent on other nations such as United States and China, is also expected to feel the pinch. According to a report by the Malaysian Institutions of Economic Research, Malaysian GDP growth will contract by 2.61% in 2020. In the face of the COVID-19, the fiscal policy target are related to the government, spending and taxation, while for the monetary policy, it is related to the interest rate, liquidity and also control of money supply. In terms of the fiscal policy, the government has announced a series of economic stimulus package to help the individual and company that are affected by the COVID-19 crisis. On 27 March 2020, there are 250 billion economic stimulus package, which known as Package Rangsangan Ekonomi 2020, or in a short form known as Package Prihatin, was launched to help industries that were directly hit by the first wave of the COVID-19 outbreak, such as hotel and transport companies. After the outbreak entered the second wave and the MCO was imposed, more individuals and business were impacted. The supply chains are disrupted because almost all of the entire sector was stopped working. On 5 June 2020, Prime Minister unveiled a new short-term economic recovery plan, which is known as Pelan Jana Semula Ekonomi Negara, or known as PENJANA. The plan, worth 35 billion, which will include a direct 10 billion fiscal injections in the Malaysian economy. The government unveils PENJANA, or the National Economic Recovery Plan, that will focus on the three key thrusts, which is the first one is empower people, second, propel businesses, and third is stimulate the economy. So, next I will show you on how the stimulus package can help to benefit the country. So, there are a few incentives provided for the business sector. One of the main incentive which was introduced in the earlier package, which was in the Package Prihatin, the government will introduce the wage subsidy program to assist the employers to retain their workers. Through this program, the government will provide a salary of 600 ringgit per month to every employee for the 3 months. This program is dedicating to workers earning less than 4,000 ringgit. This program then continued in the National Economic Recovery Plan, which is the latest economic package stimulus, where the wages subsidies program will be extended for another 3 months with subsidy of 600 ringgit per employee for all eligible employers. Through this program, it's able to save more than 2.2 million jobs. With this, our country is able to tackle rising of unemployment, as the government will allocate 9 billion ringgit on various initiatives that expected to benefit up to 3 million workers. This is because many among us are worrying about the risk of losing jobs and income, as many economic sector and activities were impacted during the Movement Control Order period. By this incentive, it helps Malaysian economy in order to speed up the development of economy. Let's move to the second example, which is I pick from the tourism sector. There are incentives provided for the tourism sector, which was introduced in the earlier economic package, which is Package Prihatin. This is the government allows the postponement of income tax installment payments to all SMEs for the 3 months beginning from 1 April 2020. This is an addition to the previously announcement measures where the government postponed tax installment payments to affected businesses in the tourism sector for 6 months beginning 1 April 2020. This incentive then continued in the National Economic Recovery Plan, which is known as PENJANA, where the full exemptions of the tourism tax is given started from 1 July 2020 until 30 June 2021. This income tax exemption of up to 1,000 ringgit for the local travel expenses will be extended until the end of the year. Besides, there are also PENJANA tourism financing, up to 1 ringgit billion financing facility for transformation initiative by SMEs in the tourism sector. So, the benefit to the country, the tourism sector may affect positively on the economy as it can increase its earnings. It also would help to promote new investment in the country, and not to forget, it can increase the employment opportunities among Malaysians. By this incentive, it helps to stabilize the circulation flow in the economy. The third example is in a small and medium-sized enterprises, or known as SMEs sector. There are a few incentives provided for small and medium-sized enterprises, which was introduced in the earlier package, which is Package Prihatin. The government and Bank Negara Malaysia, which known as BNM, will provide additional funds of 4.5 billion to assist small and medium-sized enterprises. These funds is also include the micro entrepreneurs as well. The fund also covers in increasing the size of the Special Relief Facility, or known as SRF fund, from 3 billion to 5 billion for SMEs, with the interest rate that will be reduced from 3.75% to 3.5%. This incentive then continue in the National Economic Recovery Plan, where an additional of 2 billion funding to assist SMEs adversely impacted by the pandemic COVID-19 to sustain their business operation at the concession rate of 3.5%, while for the micro entrepreneurs, the aggregated approved financing up to 50,000 per enterprise at a subsidy rate of 3.5%. With this, it helps to fostering growth, employment and income as well, to have been integral to Malaysia's economic transformation process. Thus, it can boost the development of Malaysia's economy. By this incentive, SME sector will be able to jumpstart local spending by encouraging people to get out and start spending again, in addition to provide financial support for business that are trying to get back on their feet. As a conclusion, in the face of COVID-19, the government must focus on two objectives, which is, the first one, they should focus on the necessary protective and safety precautions to break the chain of infection, and two, to reduce the negative economic effect by implementing recovery policies involving active fiscal and monetary policy target. Therefore, all the stages in the movement control order are really helps to protect the country from being uncontrollable affected by the COVID-19. It is difficult to predict when the economy will fully recover as long as the COVID-19 positive cases continue to rise and no vaccine are discovered to treat this disease. Nevertheless, the government fiscal and monetary policy complement one another and will help to revive the economy by increasing aggregate demand such as public and private consumption. This will help to stimulate economic growth through the multiplier effect and reduce the hike in the unemployment rate. With all the information that I have shared to you guys today, I hope it will benefit and help you guys to be more understanding about this economic stimulus package. So, thank you. Bye.